I'm going to consistently do.
Yeah, you got time to form rituals. This is the first one, right?
So it's the first one. So let's start with this. Everybody, me, you, and all the listeners, let's all take a deep breath. The count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let it out. Okay, welcome in.
Yo.
Ritual number 2. I'm going to give a small gift to each of my guests.
Oh.
So I got this in Sicily.
Wow.
It is...
that is cool.
It's a bracelet. Like you wrap it around your wrist. It's a wallet that
Yeah.
wraps around your wrist.
No way.
Yeah.
Like this?
Like that. Yeah. So that goes there. It clips. Find that clip.
That's crazy.
A button. It also has the button so you can cash, whatever.
Yeah?
Goes in there. And you can probably wrap it around your ankle. Yeah, it's just like a
kind of Mad Maxy.
minimal. Yeah, you got that. Cool. All right.
I like it.
Third ritual. We don't know how many of these. I mean, God, we could take up a whole hour doing rituals.
There it is. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Got to get that on the mic. Always.
Okay.
Why do you like wine?
Relaxing.
It's relaxing to you?
It's relaxing.
Yeah.
Boom.
Put on those headphones to get used to the full experience.
Okay. Boom, boom. Taylor, cheers.
Saoji.
Saoji.
Cheers. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Woo.
All right. Welcome into the first episode of the podcast. Before I introduce you, I do have some other ground rules I'd like to establish. You only get one chance to do the first one. So I'm going to try to tell this to every guest and figure out what the formula is. But I'm going to speak quickly, try to answer quickly. We're gonna do condensed. I'm not going to be that podcast that like rambles on.
Okay. Okay.
Also, this is our conversation, so there will be no podcast speak. Podcast speak is, yeah, I think it's a really important point that a lot of people don't really recognize is
Yeah.
Okay, so cut all that, or like, yeah, I said this on one of my other podcasts, this, and that. Like, cut it. It's just me and you having a convo.
Right.
There's no show notes. If something happens and you need to like get a link, go look it up, people. But there's no like, we're not gonna say, yeah, I'll drop that in the show notes so we can get it later. None of that.
Okay.
And last,
I like that.
Let's go. Last, this is the conversation I want to have with you, not the conversation anybody else, the audience, might want me to have with you. Let's establish that right now. Okay. So, for the introduction, welcome, Taylor Powell, resident of Austin, Texas, historian of Hawaii, Brazil, and New York City and beyond, filmmaker extraordinaire.
Thanks.
Father of 2.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Awesome. Good to be here.
First thing, thanks for setting up this podcast. This podcast would be not possible without you, and it sure wouldn't sound like this. So thank you. This is amazing. You guys.
You're welcome.
Wow, we got cameras, we got things. This is amazing. Okay.
Got to do right.
So I'm going to go through the chronological backwards order that I know you, and I want to go before that. So when we met each other, that was Austin, Texas.
Right.
Tell me the Taylor story before Austin, Texas, because I don't know it.
Okay. So we were in Austin in what year approximately did we meet?
2010.
2010. Okay. Do you want to go from there? Or you want to start from like birth, or just go backwards?
Just go back.
Go backwards may actually be easier.
3 to 5 years.
Okay, cool. 2010, I was in Austin. Had I traveled to Southeast Asia before that?
Not that I know of.
In 2010. Yeah, I had. Okay. Yeah. I went to school in San Marcos. I got a degree in international business from Texas State University. That was in 2007. So that's when I finished that.
Okay.
So the years after that, I basically worked in a hotel for like a year and saved up every dollar I had in order to go on a trip to do about 7 months in Southeast Asia and in the Pacific. And I feel like that was I mean, obviously a wonderful trip. It was something that a very good friend of mine told me, like, hey, we should do a trip straight out of college, not go get a job and a house and blah, blah, blah. Because this is the only time we're going to ever actually get to do this, right? Like to an extreme level. You know, for most people, I think that's
7-8 months. Okay, no, I didn't realize that at first. 7-8 months. That's a trip. No, that's like, hey, let's change our lives together. For a period of time.
For sure.
It's not like, hey, let's do an epic. Like, it's not. We didn't backpack Europe for a month. No. 7 to 8 months.
It was. Yeah, I did 7 months. He ended up doing 9 or 10. I think he had more money. I ran out of money, which was fine.
If you didn't run out, would you still be there?
No, I think I kind of fell in love too, so I wanted to get back and kind of explore that kind of thing. Okay.
What was his name? What was her name? The girl you left.
They name. Carolina was her name. Is her name? She's still alive. Mm-hmm. She's still
bravo.
She's still making it.
Carolina, if you're out there, we're happy you're alive.
Yeah. She probably is out there. Who knows if she'll ever listen to this? Yeah, she's from Sweden, and we ended up traveling around together. Yeah, but the trip itself, I think, was really, really magical because it was the one of the few times I really actually like lost which day it was.
Hell yeah!
And that's, I think, a really hard thing to do.
Time ignorance. That's the thing we're missing.
Yeah.
Time ignorance. We're way too conscious. Okay.
Yeah, what day it was, what number day it was, like, yeah.
Of I call it the college tripod. There's sleep, study, and party. You can choose 2. Which 2 did you choose?
I partied and studied. I didn't
didn't sleep.
I didn't sleep. Gotcha. I think it was like,
check that.
I sleep so much more now. I didn't. How did that even happen?
How many national parks have you been naked in?
I've been naked in does it have to be like a national park? It could be like a national reserve or something like that.
Okay. There's a sign out front that says "Go hiking here," and you went, and then at some point you got naked.
Yeah, I've had a project where I take pictures, or someone else takes pictures of me naked, fully nude in very beautiful natural spaces. And I would say I'm up to like, I want to say 20, 25 to be conservative, but it'd be maybe closer to 30.
Is this your longest term project? The longest time horizon project?
Probably so. I've been doing this for, I mean, at least 11, 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it?
I think it's just nice to, I don't know, it's kind of, well, number one, I don't think like men's bodies are that pretty naked. So like, I just wanted to do it.
Here you are showing more men's body.
I think when I started it, I was kind of getting comfortable with being naked in general. I started like swimming naked, doing the kind of like, where it's accepted at nudist beaches and that kind of thing. And that was like a very liberating thing in my life. And so now I get any opportunity I get it. Like, I'm not like a full blown nudist, what you would kind of think of that goes to like the nudist ranch and blah, blah, blah. But like, if there's an experience where not many people are around or people don't care, why not swim naked in like a beautiful place? And if it's safe too, right? Or just why not walk around naked if the weather is perfect and you're not going to, burn your white skin.
Mm-hmm. Was this conceived in Hawaii?
This was from my time in Hawaii.
Let's talk about Hawaii. So let's talk about Kalani.
Okay.
I got there thanks to your recommendation. Mm-hmm. Thank you, by the way. It was amazing.
Cheers.
How did you get there?
How I found Hawaii. I went to Hawaii as a kid a couple times, and I loved it. And it was always just something special, kind of, has that kind of effect on a lot of people. I went down there to the Big Island for a yoga teacher retreat. I wasn't interested in being a yoga teacher, but I was just kind of just finding a different path, worked in the corporate world after my, university and travel studies, and that didn't really fit me. So I was kind of seeking a different vibe, and I went down there and I did a yoga teacher training at this place called Kalani. It's like a retreat center. kind of resort kind of place, but very hippie, very, yeah. You've been there.
Founded by gay ballet dancers from the 70s?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's also a cultural center. It's an amazing place. It's in a different form now, but I went down there and I remember walking into like the food line. So you got served 3 meals a day, right? Yeah. Delicious, amazing meals. Local food, just stellar. And I remember walking into the line, and the happiness and the smile on the face, I could still picture it in my mind. It was such a pivotal moment of this volunteer who was like slopping food on like plates, and just like how everybody, and I just remember looking around, I was like, everybody's so fucking happy here. And that's what I knew. I was like,
kind, warm, just from the middle of here, just emanating out. Yeah.
I ate that meal. I walked down to the office. I said, how do I get to volunteer here?
Yeah.
And I mean, the rest is history. I spent probably 3-4 years of my life going back every winter. Sometimes I'd stay for 3 months. Sometimes I'd stay for 7 months. Ended up meeting my, my baby mama there, and having kids.
I don't like that term. Can we rebrand that term?
Yeah. You were talking about
Can we rephrase that?
Yeah. Mother of my children, mother of my children, mother of my boys. Met her there.
Cool.
So, I mean, obviously a life-altering experience with that place.
Yeah. Inflection point.
Yeah.
Fork in the road.
Wow.
It's Kalani.
I think about that a lot. I think about I don't really go down a what if kind of scenario.
Well, let's go down some what ifs.
Oh, if I
what do you think about
went there?
No, just what do you think about a lot? You said you think about that a lot. What do you think about a lot?
I mean, I don't sit every week and go like, oh, Kalani. No, I think about just how special that place is and was, and how grateful I am for it. It's more of a grateful thing. It's not like a longing or like what would have happened. Yeah. The place ended up kind of really changing and almost being destroyed by the lava flow in 2018. Yeah. And so it was kind of like serendipitous and kind of majestic that it didn't stay the way it was, like everything, right? Like I always think about what that movie, The Beach, with Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. And it's like you get to that paradise is only one part of time. What happens in the movie? The drug guys end up.
Too many people start coming. Someone finds the map, and then too many extra people come because they had an agreement. They weren't going to bring the extra people, but then a couple other people came, and then she had to end up doing a horrible crime in order to maintain her perfect peace. Right. So what length are you?
Right, willing to go to keep that thing, and all that, It's a really well written kind of trope about life and about experiences. It's you can never have that period. And I saw a lot of people there.
No, you can have it. You just can't live in it.
Yeah, and keep in it.
Right. You can't keep it.
I had a conversation with my friend Gary there, and he's like, why would you leave here at this place? You have everything. You have all these just wonderful things around you. And I was like, well, I think the job of this place is actually give that to the rest of the world, without trying to sound cheesy or cliche or trope, and that's true. You have to take that back. That place is going to be there. Not everybody can go there. Not everybody in the world can just consume the island of Hawaii. Right. So that's the job of that place, is actually to take it somewhere else.
Hey Gary, isn't that how cults start? Isn't that a great question leading into a cult? Hey,
there was a lot of talk about.
Why would you ever leave?
Gary, I think he was probably.
It's perfect.
Gary's an older gentleman. He's probably kicking 80 now.
Was Gary the main dude?
No.
Oh,
this is just a friend of mine.
Okay, cool.
A very good friend, and we talked a lot about cults and about they're kind of great. He spent some time in in a yoga, not like a movement yoga, but a yoga breathing kind of cult. Okay. And I'm kind of pro cults. I think people's fascination with them is founded in the idea. There's all these TV shows about cults now.
Pro cult.
I'm pro cult.
What does that mean? What does it mean to be pro cult?
Well, I mean,
don't know what that means.
I mean, to many an extent, Christianity or major religions are cults.
So any belief system that creates an in-out group is a cult.
Yeah, that's I think one definition of it.
My Camus cult.
Perhaps, yeah. Okay. If you like it.
That's pretty wide definition.
I mean, it's pretty wide. The narrower, where it's like it changes your life and makes you do things, makes you ascribe to something.
Yeah,
right?
Let's get into the nitty gritty. That's where cults cross the line.
Where we
cults usually think of them as bad.
It's a blurry fucking line, man. Like I watched that NXIVM cult. Did you ever read about them?
No.
HBO had a documentary, 10-part. It was 5 parts too long, in my opinion. But had a documentary about NXIVM, which was this like kind of ritzy cult, big in LA, big in New York, all around the world. And it had these like foundations and like kind of like self-improvement and business management and that kind of thing. And so a lot of stars were attracted to it and kind of elevated their profile and like, but then it reached this point. There's always this like singular, usually typically white male.
Singular point where the one guy says no one can have sex with each other, and then he's secretly having sex with everyone.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
How did you know that?
Where have I heard this before?
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing with cults. I think the message and the feeling of belonging in a community is something that not a lot of people feel these days. And so that's why it's so attractive. That's why you see the Hare Krishnas like parading outside together, right? It's like that's a beautiful thing to push a cart down the boardwalk and chant and stuff like that. That's why you see the people behind them really angry, the kind of really far right Christian folks, like, they have someone to like channel this community. And I think that, I don't know, cults can be a great thing. Your neighborhood can be a cult.
You've opened my mind up to cults. So why don't you go ahead and pitch me on your Taylor cult? So let's say you're starting a cult. Let's just say you're starting a cult and so I'm saying, hey, I might be interested in joining a cult. What is your cult's philosophy? What do you stand for?
Okay, just to be clear, I'm not starting a cult. But
just to be clear,
in my cult that I'm starting.
Hypothetical cult.
You need money.
Okay, so you have to donate. You have to like give us your money. That's first step one.
Gary and I had this conversation actually, like, and like, there's all this like woo, like we'll sell, croc gems,
bracelets,
and we'll sell this, and it's like it will never work out. I've had conversations with other people that have lived in intentional communities around the world. A friend from Estonia I was talking about.
Oh, so that's the rebranding of cult is
intentional communities. Intentional communities are what these kind of places are called.
It's not Baby Mama. She's my co-creator. We're not a cult. This is intentional. Okay.
Intentional communities.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay, you gotta have money.
Give me all your money. Cool. What else? What do I get?
I used to think you had to kind of have some kind of central tenet, like I don't know, Muhammad, that thing, or if you had something else, like you had to have some kind of
symbolic figure that
thing outside
can't be proven
yourself.
Supernatural. Probably
supernatural or like way of living. Like we do yoga every day. We meditate.
So like an uncompromising So what's yours? What's going to be your uncompromising activity?
I used to think that you needed that. I don't think you need that anymore. I think it can even be as simple as like we all live together.
We all have a patch on our jacket.
We all have a patch. Yeah.
We all have the same NFT.
Oh, an NFT cult?
I think that's all they are, right?
I had to say it like this.
They're the seeds. Yeah, you have to do it under your breath, or else it's embarrassing. Okay. All right, let's shift gears. All right, you moved to Rio de Janeiro many years ago, and you lived there for 3 years, and you learned Portuguese, and you were fucking in it.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Wonderful. I moved there with my co-creator, who was from there, and we had 2 little awesome babies, and I worked there, which was amazing. And I'm from Austin, Texas, and I've traveled and kind of lived different places, but that was the first place I really lived internationally for multiple years. And I think I made a commitment. It is a commitment. You have to commit to it in the sense of like learning the language and like not speaking to like the Americans or the other expats that are down there. And that was super helpful. Working was super helpful. When you put yourself in a situation where you have to know how to say certain things, you're going to fucking learn, So.
Okay. Hell yeah. So interested in the meditation film project that you did back in the mid 20s.
Oh, yeah.
20 aughts. So I saw a post from Venice Beach
Yeah.
Right here where we are. So you discovered Venice Beach before I did.
Oh,
so
shit, that's right.
You were on the boardwalk in
It was like right over there. I now like see exactly where we were.
I looked it up. It was 2014.
Okay.
And it was right over there. So first question, what was Venice Beach like then compared to now?
In my little taste of it, probably about the same.
Okay, cool. All right, fair. And then what were you guys doing on the boardwalk that day and in New York City, Penn Station and beyond?
Yeah, that project started. I had a good filmmaker friend. Shout out to awesome director of photography, Greg Wilson in New York. And I went over to his house and he's like, "Hey, I got this big old contraption, this 6 foot long metal pole, and you can put a camera on it. And this is like the early days of motion control, time lapse kind of capture. Now they got like compact stuff and way better stuff than this thing. Yeah. This big, heavy, thick steel pole and had a motor. And I needed to learn how to program for like 3 days to like figure out how to make this thing work. But I loved it because it's like, you see these a lot. It's like on a track and it kind of goes down. You can make it move, that kind of thing. And I was just playing with time lapse a lot at that time. And so he just goes, take this for like a couple weeks and make something with it. And I was like, sweet, okay. And I remember like taking it on the subway, looked like a bomb, like just like walking on the subway with it and just been like do, and people were looking at it. It's got this big, lead acid or lithium battery attached to it and everything else. So I got it, and I was doing a lot of yoga at the time. And I was just really interested in meditation, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, man, what if we got like people to like sit in busy areas and meditate? What would that be like? I think visually it'd be interesting, right? When you time lapse something, you see everything kind of going around, people moving and blah, blah, blah. So I did just that. I did it first in New York, and I called the project A Piece of NYC. So piece being the wordplay, piece and peace. And I did probably like 7 people, myself included. We did it on the subway.
Let's talk about your experience being the meditator. So you're sitting on the ground on a piece of cardboard in where?
I did the subway in Greenwich Village. Yeah, that's where I did it.
What span of time?
Mine was like 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was about 15 minutes.
Why didn't you try longer, like an hour?
Because it's a subway, and we kind of knew we were going to get,
moved,
kicked off.
Did you?
So we did it on a subway platform, and we did right at the end. So we finished it before that.
Okay.
But one of the coolest experiences was of how fast, and a lot of people told me that did this, was how fast after like 1-2 minutes, you actually stopped thinking about, okay, this is weird that there's other people around me. And I always like told people to feel comfortable, and I would keep a watch, because I'm watching the gear and I'm watching them, I would kind of like meditate in the background a little bit with them too, every once in a while, if I felt like it was safe enough. But no one like, fucked with anybody or anything. But I remember it was just after about 2 minutes, it was like a time warp. Bam. Like 15 minutes had gone by, and like I had felt a touch on my shoulder, and I just like came out of it. And I was like, whoa. How could I sit here with hundreds and thousands of people walking around me and like not even notice?
Yeah.
Like just be like totally okay.
Did you feel vulnerable because your eyes are closed?
It was almost easier to get into that state, man.
You have to trust everyone to not punch you in the face.
Right. And everybody would talk to me about that, like all the participants. But like everybody, I can't say everybody, a lot of people felt when they did it, they were like, wow. Like I went way deeper than, sitting in my house with some calming music and some, like lavender scent and some like chimes playing. Like this was way easier to do it, to kind of block out that noise. And that was fascinating. That was really cool. So then I did a Kickstarter because I had no money at the time, and I did it here in Los Angeles, Venice, Santa Monica, Hollywood, everywhere. And I would just like do like open calls, like, hey, you want to meditate in public?
Do you think this project would pop more now if you did it? Like maybe that world wasn't ready for it. It's so
Probably
TikTokable, meditations up. Like you were,
yeah.
Just I feel like the world's more ready for it. Maybe re-release it or let's film some new ones.
Okay.
Let's film them, like how weird of places can it get? Like
do new cities and stuff like that.
Yeah, Bourbon Street, Venice Beach Boardwalk. I don't know.
Cities need it. You know, like cities need it. And it was weird. People would ask us like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that here?" Yeah. There's one guy actually. Where was that? That was in Long Beach. We did that. He was like angry, like about us. Like he's like, "This isn't meditation." And I was like, "Oh." So of course me, I'm like, "Oh, go on." And he's just like, "Meditation is not this. This is not what meditation is." And I was like, "Well, explain. What is meditation?" It's like, "Well, meditation is you're supposed to be sitting down and doing this." And I was like, "Well, some people do it differently, don't you think?" And it's interesting the way what comes out.
Socratic Taylor. Oh my God.
Is it meditation?
Okay, so film, camera, that's your life's work so far. That's like your specialty, your professional life's work. What old camera, what old equipment gives you nostalgia?
Old equipment.
You like someone at 16, they get their first car. The 1972 Datsun 510 will always have a place in my heart.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
1985 Isuzu Trooper.
Just like...
have a place in my heart always.
Old, like, high-8 video cameras. Like, handheld.
High-8.
Yeah, it was like that type of card. Or it was like...
it was a cassette, like a cassette type thing
cassette,
with real...
and it was, it wasn't like 8mm, but it was like high-8 or digital high-8 or whatever it was. That was it, man. Because that was like... I remember I had one for a birthday, and I would like, do the whole thing of like stop motion Legos or just like make a little silly movie, of like me playing guitar. I was like 12, 11 or something like that. And then like slowly, like, nonlinear editors kind of started to come in, like iMovie, and started playing with that. And it was just like, I made a commercial / movie, and it was a spoof on Blazing Saddles, which I've never even seen. So I don't even know how I wrote a spoof of it. It's called Blazing Spoodles. It was for Jamba Juice. Okay. It was for their like my boss was also the regional manager, and I worked at Jamba Juice. Okay. When I was like 16. And like edited it all in, iMovie and like we went out and like actually like he let us go to a location and get like some art direction and everything, and it was like a silent Western. And it was like 16 minutes long. And I was like, now I think that, like, holy shit. He played this on like some big screen at like some Jamba Juice conference. What? For all these people had to watch this fucking shitty movie.
Oh my God.
But it was just great. I mean, that's just so cool. Like,
it's freedom though. You can make it.
People give you opportunities sometimes that you're just like, I look back, like, I do not deserve that. But like, people are like, well, here you go. You want to do this? Cool. So he said it was a hit. Blazing Spoodles.
Blazing Spoodles. If we can find that in the archive, we'll link to it in the show notes that don't exist. Okay. We're going to borrow a segment from my favorite podcast, Conversations with Tyler. We're going to play Overrated, Underrated. So I'm going to say a thing. You say overrated, underrated. You say why. Feel free to pass.
Hold on. This is like a trope from another podcast. This is like anti one of your rules.
I'll put my spin on it. Whatever. No, this is cool. Let's do it. Okay. South by Southwest.
Overrated.
Why?
I call it the biggest marketing fuck fest in the world.
Okay. It's just branding, and some people show up.
A lot of people show up.
Okay.
You can still have fun, but it's overrated.
Buenos Aires.
Oh, shit. Neutral?
You can pass. You just want to pass?
Pass.
No.
I don't want to offend anybody, but like...
Who's anybody? It's just me and you.
There's like millions of people that live in Buenos Aires.
Fuck them.
That are going to watch this.
What do you think?
No one's going to... No one from Buenos Aires is going to watch this.
No one.
That's true.
Overrated, underrated.
Your wine's great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Shout out Camus.
Is that in Buenos Aires?
No, this is not Malbec.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Let's skip it for now. New York City. Let's do that one.
Underrated.
Still to this day. Why?
New York City is a jungle of so much in such a compact space. I mean,
tell us something we don't know.
I don't know. Everybody knows to just like walk around New York City, right? Just walk. Just start walking any direction. Just walk. I do that so many times with friends, by myself, so many times. Let's just walk.
Just gut walks. Just
nowhere else can you do that.
Where does my gut take
Nowhere else in the world can you do that.
There's some places. I've been some places. It's a great place. Let's don't exclude. Okay. Fuji cameras.
Underrated. I just started using. I used one in Brazil and I was really impressed. Really? And it was small.
Yeah.
I'm into small cameras now.
Underrated. You're into small cameras.
Yeah. I used to be, I need a big fucking camera, but now like I want the smallest but best and still does everything camera.
Okay.
Oh, like a phone or something. Weird. Wonder if they have that.
Overrated, underrated. Erewhon.
The grocery store?
Yeah.
That we've been going to? The prices want me to like say overrated, but underrated. The food's good. It's good.
Okay. DMT, overrated, underrated?
Underrated.
Underrated. Why is that?
Solidly under.
Everyone's on something else.
I mean, I used to think like in psilocybin, everybody should try psilocybin. I don't think that anymore.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay.
Because
DMT replaced it, or because psilocybin's not good enough?
No, I think like that kind of exited my thought process when I was like, oh, I can kind of see how people, if you have some schizophrenia, or if you're not really willing to do the work and you do it, you can end up in a pretty fucked up place with psilocybin. But it can be a very friendly thing if you are. I think with DMT, you're overriding some root, firmware. And
you're jailbreaking your mind.
You're jailbreaking your mind.
Okay.
And it's going into that root code. And I mean, you can't rate that.
Crap, this whole podcast already turned into Rogan. Like what? What the hell? Oh God.
It did.
Throw all this stuff away. Oh my God. Okay. What did you learn from the great power outage of Austin?
Oh. What did I learn? That we're a little more vulnerable than we think we are.
We're a little more vulnerable than we think we are. We think we have unlimited food, power, clean water.
And I have backup food. There was a water outage a couple years ago in Austin, like system-wide, citywide water outage. And so I have like backup water at all times, and backup food, and like backup gas, backup electricity.
You're a bit of a prepper.
No, not at all. I mean, like this was less. I'm talking like 3 days, and all right, we're done.
But you're better prepared than 95% of people.
Yes.
You're in the prepper range.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd have to share. Meanwhile, I love the old like thing where it's like, you got panels and batteries in your house, and then everybody's just gonna come to your house and like shoot you and grab your shit. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter. All part of one system. What did I learn? Yeah, that it's even the grid.
Living on the edge. Okay. What makes bees so cool?
Oh, bees are cool. I kept bees for 2 years in Austin between 20. It's kind of like right when I knew you, actually, right when we met. What'd you say? What was that?
2010.
2010. Yeah, this is about 2009, 2010. I probably had bees then.
Can you blow my mind with a bee fact? Like how close?
I don't know. You may know a lot more bee facts than I.
I don't know much about bees.
There's a hive that someone keeps by my house, and I love going over and walking. I'll sit there almost every day, and I'll look and on my morning walks and just like look at the entrance, right? And they straight up like have an air conditioning system where they use their wings to flutter and actually move air throughout the whole cavity of the Langstroth hive.
Like a coordinated wing
flap? Effort inside. So there's some guys
each
in there.
one individually is going or they're all like.
And there's like a little bit of a line of them outside because it's Austin, it's hot as shit. Yeah. And then like they flow the air, I think, through the hole or through the bottom if you have like a mesh bottom, which is usually in hotter climates, and they'll flow the air through the whole thing. So they got it worked out.
That's really cool. People always say we're losing the bees, and if we lose the bees, we're all gonna die.
Right?
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is there enough attention being paid to it? I mean, it seems like if it was really that critical, we'd do more.
I think it is that critical because I mean, like you look at like 95% of almond population, in Northern California, the breadbasket of the United States is Central Valley and all that part of California, and that's all like they ship in bees.
Yeah, I heard this like
bees.
You can like order pollinating.
You can't find commercial bees because they're all shipped in on trucks to the West Coast during like certain seasons, during pollination
so it's
seasons.
capitalism. So why isn't Bill Gates investing in bees and then
because
like big industrial bee complex and bees?
I'm sure there's some stupid startup trying to do that, but it's just like you can't be as efficient.
Why isn't
as
there
a bee.
Uber for bees?
You can't be that efficient. A bee is just, they're really good at what they do. Okay. They're like, some crazy amount of flowers and stuff that they're visiting every day. And I mean, have you ever seen them with their back legs, the little like sacks full of pollen?
No, I haven't seen
that. You got to see that sometime.
Okay.
You can see it.
We won't link that in the show notes. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not going to be there. Back, like, they're like hind legs, like you can see these like sacks that they carry all the pollen in. And like every once in a while you get lucky and see they're just like loaded up with pollen. But like that takes like a whole day and thousands of flowers them visiting, just going in, getting the thing, it's crazy.
So bees are in fact busy because when I see one, they look like they're kind of just going from one to the other, like taking their sweet time. But they are doing it all day long.
All day long.
But when they're doing one, they're just kind of like laying.
They work till they die, until they're like their wings like literally just start to disintegrate,
fall off.
Yeah, and then they go off and die.
Which species is more of just like a maniac, bees or ants?
I think neither. I bet they're both really pretty strict to their roles, right? They know that they're part of this other organism, and it's like
each one will gladly die for the well-being of the rest of the group.
Totally. They know they have to.
Wild. I'm kind of out of questions. It's our first episode. How's it going so far, this podcast?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's good that I had coffee.
Okay.
That helped a little bit.
Okay.
Are you going to try to get people to finish a whole bottle of wine?
I don't know.
That's a little bit of a commitment, especially because I have to get on a plane today. And
yeah.
I don't want to be like that half-ass hungover on a plane.
Well, paint the picture. So you are the producer of this podcast. This podcast is very much yours and mine. So
thank you.
I want you to paint a picture. I want you to forecast. I want you to imagine. I want you to, insert your thought DNA into this and say, hey, what's up? Like, what should this be? Why did you do something so generous? Like set up a complete, why did you do this?
Oh, well, it's all about, I know how how much both of us love asking questions and hearing from people, like we feed off each other. Right. And we feed off, I wouldn't say like getting to know people is one part of it, but just like, I founded my company, Prismatic Pictures, as not only like to make money and do all the other shit, but like to find out there's like a lot of different ways to live your life, right? And I think that's kind of like my little company motto, and it's in essence my motto. Like there's just so many ways to live your life. There's just so many options, and I think a lot of times we get trapped in this bubble, and we don't remember how you can have an alternative relationship, or you can have you can make money in very different ways, or make a living in different ways. You can not make money and still survive. There's tons of shit. And I think that you engage with that in this place. And so that's why when you said like, hey, I think I want to do a podcast, I was like, fucking let's do it, and let's do it right. Like get the equipment, make it nice, make it high quality. But in the end, it's all about the people that you're going to get on. So I think it's good.
Are you personally more excited about the guests that I'll bring on that I meet at places and they have credentials or a book or a album or some shit? Or are you more excited about the randos from the boardwalk?
Oh, man. You're going to pull randos from the boardwalk?
Sure. Weirder the better.
Yeah.
That.
Excitement wise, like I'm stoked to hear about. Like I would love, like I would.
What are you more likely to listen to? Are you going to listen to every single podcast I do from now on?
Probably if I'm producing it.
Yeah, you're probably going to listen. Okay, yeah, every word.
At least clips or something. Maybe I'll get like an assistant editor on some of them where I'm like, fuck this. This one sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I probably will listen to most of them. Just be consistent,
That's my number one goal. Above all else, my goal is to like a factory, just like.
But like mutual friends,
pump these out
for sure. But like mutual friends, like Ajman, like be a dope podcast. Like I still have questions about that guy. He's fascinating. He's not like me, but he is like me. So it's like cool. Like has a different upbringing and what else? Yeah, but the randos, that's always exciting. Mm-hmm. It's always exciting, but it's always like this may not work.
We're gonna have to throw out some of the randos will be better. Okay, so the better average will be from the connected people, the people I know, but the higher highs and the lower lows, the more what's that called? Fidelity, amplitude.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Of the wave, yeah.
What'd your dad say today? Do you have that message up?
Oh, about you?
Yeah, that was a beautiful message. I want to shout out Dad. What's up, Greg? If you listen to this, we love you.
Yeah, he should listen to this. I'll tell him to listen to this.
He's got enough free time.
He does. All right, let's see what's the deal.
This podcast semi-sponsored by Woody's, Black Underwear, At Lexo, Vibes Map, Cory Painting, Cory Snaps. Did I mention it?
What's Cory Snaps?
Photography.
Okay. Yeah. What was that? Is that me? Okay, yeah. That was Delta welcoming aboard my flight. Not there yet. Okay, tell Cory, thanks for sharing his world with me today. I had a blast. Thinking he was just a beach guy sunglasses dude was wrong.
Beach guy sunglasses
Beach guy sunglasses dude.
It's my new Tinder bio.
Beach guy sunglasses dude.
Beach guy sunglasses dude. That's it. That's all you need to know.
He's a smart and intellectual man who likes to have fun. Is that true?
Can he leave this as a review on the podcast? It's like the top review. I thought he was just a beach guy sunglasses dude.
Beach guy sunglasses dude.
But
BGSD.
He had some things to say.
Y'all are lucky to know each other and to pick each other's brain. Yeah, cheers to that. Mm-hmm. I'm envious. Enjoy your stay and hope y'all continue to feed off each other. What does that mean? Feed off each other?
Well, I guess if you imagine the fruit of our thoughts, then feeding is like eating each other's thoughts and ingesting them and then making new thoughts based on the nutrients of the old thoughts. And while you're out metabolizing, I'm out metabolizing, and then we come together, it's like a new harvest. So I think that's what that's saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. But Dad's right.
It's a good analogy.
Dad's right. We are lucky to know each other. I count myself lucky to know you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for setting this up.
Absolutely.
We're going to make magic in this podcast.
Yeah.
And this is episode 1. Onwards and upwards.
Let's do it.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.